back, everyone, to the Collective Minds podcast. You got Nathan today, and I. Looks like it says 6 of you already in here, so thank you for coming. Make sure to leave a like. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that, but most of you guys probably have. How you been, Nathan?
Well, mostly good. Life is a roller coaster ride these days for everybody. The struggle's real, but I'm doing more good than bad, so great. How about you?
I'm good as well. Just wanted to double check on the podcast stream that we could hear both of us, and we are clear and good to go. It's good. It's good. Tonight I can't use a camera from technical electrical difficulties. It's funny if you see if you hear a baby in the background at some point. That's my son, and I told him he was allowed to be loud. It's okay. So
good for you. I was doing the opposite. I have my wife in the other room, and he's over there rattling, and I'm like, shh,
Yeah,
so.
no, he's good as well. He's good as well. After the last one, I came out, and my wife looked like she wanted to pull her hair out, and I'm like, I didn't say nothing about the baby. No, it's the 10-year-olds that know how to be quiet. He's fine. Let him scream. Maybe he'll be
all
tired
right,
and go to
Viv.
sleep.
You got the green light. Let the baby be the baby.
That's what we're all about here.
I got.
Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. I got a first world problem to share with the world real quick, and I know you can probably relate on some level. So I got a message from a buddy saying you gotta confirm your Pi crypto earnings because the deadline's coming up. And for anybody who doesn't know, Pi is a crypto that you can mine from your phone, and we got in on the Pi mining years ago when it was, there were much higher rewards. And so over the years, we got our friends in on it, and, it was kind of like, will it amount to anything? I don't know, but it's worth a shot. So we all mined, and now it's time to migrate to mainnet, which means you have to KYC, know your customer, which is like submitting government ID and all this verification crap.
That's what that stands for. I didn't know.
Yep. Know your customer or client, something like that. But anyway, so they have a checklist of things you have to go through. And it would seem to, that it would be you would assume it would be a very seamless process. But is crypto ever easy? No, it's dealing with your own money, and you have to be so technical and, exact. If you mess up one numeric new number or syllable or whatever, it's all going to go to hell. And so I'm going through this checklist. I'm going to say like 3-4 months ago when you and I first started talking about doing this. And I got stuck on this one step where it's like talking about putting your passphrase in and migrating your wallet. And I'm like, I'm putting the damn thing in and it says that it's wrong, but I'm copy and pasting. Anyway, so I was getting so pissed, which is very common for crypto. I wanted to punch a hole in the wall, but I decided to take a deep breath. We got 150 days or whatever, so I'm just going to do it later. So I'm sitting on my phone earlier today, and all of a sudden I get a notice from a buddy to, remember, you got to do this. I'm like, crap. So I pull it out and I start, fidgeting with it again. Same freaking problem. Now, when you migrated to did you do these steps yet, or am I the only one?
Yeah, I've been like KYC verified for over a year. So it brings you to, because they got the Pi browser or whatever, and I remember when I was putting in those, the passphrase or whatever, I had to make one, and it was sketch. So like it's like their server's not picking stuff up. I think it's getting a little better, but I think all it is. So have you completed it yet or no?
So I got so before what was happening, it actually allows you to copy the passphrase directly from their app and input it, and it still says it's wrong. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like,
trying to see if you're human.
Yeah. So anyways, long story short, I think I've got it figured out now. I ended up just creating a new wallet because no crypto was migrated over yet, which I should have just done from the beginning, but I don't know. I was just so flustered. I didn't think of doing that. But I ended up creating another wallet, migrating it that way. So I have to wait 24 hours to see. But I'm telling you, man, I probably shaved about 10 years off my life just trying to do that process right there.
That's so funny, dude.
And then it's like,
there's always something.
Yeah. And it's something. and this is what I'm saying. You know, if this is the worst of my problems right now, I'm doing pretty good. It's first world
Right.
problems, but
Yeah.
you know, they have the support tab, so you click support, and it's like they never email back. So then you open another tab, and then the first tab's responding, but then the second one starts, and then it's just all fucked up. But yeah,
So I'm support now. Right now they're trying to get through all the KYC. I signed some legal paperwork through them, and now I'm a verificator or whatever. I see people's IDs and have to say like that's legit. And you know how they when you're going through it, you have to do like a live whatever, so you got to turn your head and stuff. I verify those. I have to go through, and it pays you Pi for everyone. It hasn't paid me nothing yet, of course, but yeah, it's gonna pay me through Pi. So if I see yours on there, I'll just be like, yeah, I know this guy.
What
It's so funny.
I was hung up on step 9, which is the last step. Migrate to mainnet. And that's where it's like, oh, put your 24 words in and we'll just pink right over. And that's where I was like, copy and paste. What do you mean it's wrong? I copy and paste, you know, but anyways, as soon as I created a new wallet, I was good to go because I already KYC'd in the past. It's just this last stupid step. So I'm waiting 24 hours. We'll find out. But how did you get set up as a verifier?
I'm not. So I did the just got on to, you know, you have to click the mine button or whatever, and it was on their main screen, like become a verificate, whatever they called it. But yeah.
Okay.
And so I clicked it and went through it and did it. But I'm excited for this, dude. If this drops, because a couple years ago, if you guys don't know what Pi is, it's not out yet. It's not on the mainnet. So we've been sitting here. I've been sitting here for like 5 years mining this crap. I got like 1,700 of them and like 1,000 migrated already. And when they did a test net a couple years ago, and these coins went up to like $380 a coin. So if that drops when this happens, I mean, you know, 1,000 of them, $380 a piece. That's a lot of money.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're going to be that's like a good 300K right there. I mean, after the rises and falls of crypto waves that we've been on, it's like, do I really want to wait to be a millionaire, or do I want to just take that 300,000? You know, at this point,
I'm going to take it.
It's an app, you know, it's like a phone thing. We didn't really think it would amount to anything, but yeah, I saw that too. I'm like, Jesus, oh my God. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Even if it doesn't go up to 380 right now, it's sitting at, it hit almost 50 the other day. It was sitting at 48. And these are just projected based on IOUs. So people have bought IOU coins. Like they're not real coins yet, but when they come out, they get them from the company. Just based on people buying literally nothing so far of this coin. It's worth almost $50. So even $50 at 1,000 of them.
Yeah, that would be, what is $150,000? So at what you're sitting at right now. Or
wait. I think with what I have migrated, it's it'd be around 40 grand.
Yeah, I jumbled up there.
Just for pushing a button, you know, like 1,000 times.
You know, in
5 years.
Right before we started the live, Austin was going on about, I just keep getting this email that keeps popping up, and that's what prompted me to bring this up, because as I'm like you know, tearing hair and freaking throwing every cuss word out there, it keeps prompting me. Every time I push on the screen of my phone, it would prompt me, Pi wants you to turn on push notifications. No, go to the next screen. Pi wants you. I'm like, no. And it's, you know, it just adds to the shit show. I'm like,
laughing at you.
Yeah. People like funny. Austin are just sitting there in the background. Let's fuck with them one more time. It's you, isn't it, Austin? Anyways.
I tell you, if I see it, I'll push it, but it sounds like you got it taken care of. Most of them are just like Indian dudes getting all like weirded out, looking at themselves on camera, is most of them.
And on in other mainstream, you know, first world problem news, my freaking PlayStation account, I'm sorry if this has nothing to do with conspiracies really, but
it could be.
My PlayStation, yeah, right. Speaking of PlayStation, Sony and their pedophile
Microsoft, boards. Buddy. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah,
that's Xbox. My bad.
Xbox, but there was a big thing with Sony and the chat logs getting cleared. They brought down the network. It was in the Telegram message boards. They were talking about, oh, the PlayStation network went down because they're trying to clear the chat logs because they were using the messaging app for sending pedophile shit back and forth. But anyways, my freaking PlayStation account got permanently banned the other day, and I'm like, I'm all of a sudden just like logged out of everything, and I don't get online to play. So I'm like, what could I have possibly done to be banned? Anyways, long story short, this is what happened. So I was subscribed to Minecraft Realms, and my friend and I, we created a realm, which is like a shared world, and you can access it without the other person being online. That's why you pay for the server, the realm. Well, we were doing that. It was great fun. But then I don't know what happened, but for some reason, it was requiring me to make a payment when I had already paid. And so it logged everybody out. And so I thought, oh, okay, well, I guess we're just done. It's asking me to pay, but I already paid. I'm not paying twice. So whatever. And so for like 6 months, we were not accessing this realm. And then all of a sudden, I got another charge email. And I'm like, why the hell is Minecraft billing me again 6 months later? So I told my friend, hey, check, see if we can get on the realm. Nope, still logged out, asking for another payment. But here's a payment right here. So long story short, what happened is the whole time we were logged out, the whole time it was still billing me for like 6 months. And I'm reaching out to tech support. Nobody wants to issue a refund. I'm like, fine. And then Mojang says, hey, we're gonna give you a free month. I'm like, don't fucking give me a free month. Okay, I don't want it. Just keep your free month and let's be done with this. And so what ends up happening is, because they gave me a free month and I tried to log into the realm, I didn't successfully do it. PlayStation saw that I was accessing the realm without paying for the services, so they banned me. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I call PlayStation and I get some Allah Akbar dude telling me that I got a freaking, oh yeah, it's because of Minecraft. And so the only
He sold
way
your account hostage.
this is the crazy part, man. Get this. Sony tells me the only way that I can get my account unbanned is if I buy gift cards from him and then go to his special email link to apply the gift cards, and then he'll
He's
make
trying to scam you through, and he actually works at PlayStation. That is so funny, bro.
And I'm like, well, do you understand how sketchy? Why can't I just use my credit card? Oh, no, you need to go to the link, and then you need to click the link to buy the gift cards from our specific link, and then you go back to the email. I'm like,
sign the waiver.
Dude, I'm like, do I just go to my account and apply the gift cards? Oh, no, you have to go to the link in the email and then apply the gift cards to that with your login information, and then we will automatically apply it to your account and unfreeze it. I'm like, do you realize how sketchy this sounds? You want me to buy freaking random gift cards to like, you're holding my account hostage until I buy gift cards from you and apply it to no man's land. Anyways, that actually worked, but for that 24 hours or whatever, I was like, what the fuck have I got myself mixed up in, man? Like, I'm being charged for services that I'm not using. Then they're banning me for accessing services that I'm not being charged for. Oh my God. So yeah, just stupid America problems, but whatever. It's all worked out.
That's so funny.
Sony.
So it actually worked.
It actually worked, but I'm
he's like, I know how bad this looks. Another Indian guy telling me to go buy gift cards.
Yep.
And it's like, keep calling you ma'am too. They do that.
It's like the beginning of every YouTube scam video that you watch.
Those are so good.
You gotta go there. You owe the IRS thousands of dollars, and you gotta pay through Google Play Store gift cards. It's like, oh God.
Yeah, give us the money. We only take gift cards. It's our new currency. I believe it. What do you think about well, I guess before that question, Diddy's jet, I think, is sitting down in Walla Walla, Washington right now. It landed there 3 days ago and hasn't moved. Diddy's private jet. But yeah, what do you think about this Diddy shit going on?
Well,
his jet landed in Tacoma, then took off again, and I don't see any news about it leaving. I think it's sitting at the Walla Walla airport.
Tacoma, and then came to Walla Walla.
Yep.
Wow, that's wild. I mean, you know what's weird about Walla Walla? It's like that city that everybody knows about, but when you live in Walla Walla, it's like it's so small you imagine that nobody knows where the hell you're talking about. You're like, oh, it's Southeast Washington, but everybody's like, oh, Walla Walla, the Sweet Onions, or fucking Diddy's planes at the airport. What? I had no idea. But the Diddy shit just blows my mind. And you know what I keep thinking back to is that movie Get Him to the Greek, where he's the agent for
Oh,
Russell
and he's
Brand.
chasing them.
Yeah, and he's like they're getting
I
all
saw
high
that
at the
clip the other
party.
day.
They're fucking getting high at the party, and they're all like tripping and petting the fur on the wall, and it's like this definitely happened.
Yeah,
And can
that
you
guy
imagine-
literally just played himself.
Exactly. And I'm like, can you imagine how many celebrities watched that movie and are like, oh fuck, like having PTSD? They're like, oh, I was Russell Brand or whatever that guy's name is that is
Russell
ushering.
Brand and
Superbad, dude from Superbad.
Yeah. Is it? It's not Seth.
No,
What's his name? The fat one. We know.
Yeah, who actually lost a lot
He's
of
not
weight.
fat anymore, but
Not fat anymore, but we all know who I'm talking about. But yeah,
Jonah
I'm like,
Hill.
Jonah Hill, yeah. I'm like, dude, this dude is literally playing himself, just like you said. So I mean, I think it's sick and twisted, and I keep hearing like, you turn on Facebook or get on Facebook and you see like, oh, now Jay-Z is implicated with a room where there's body parts that were found, and
It's weird.
You
It's
have
really weird.
Will Smith's son in like 1,000 pictures crying and, oh, they raped me. It's like, well, I wouldn't put it past them at this point, but they're saying he was worse than Epstein.
Well, I think they all work together. I think it's crazy. And you keep seeing these videos, like there's one of Michael Jackson telling on people. They've been talking about it for a long time, and these people keep dying. Like the people back then that would talk about it, they die still to this day. Like there's that one that just died from that boy band. He was just talking about Diddy
One
and some
Direction.
other people. Yeah. And then fell from, a building, which doesn't happen. People don't just fall from buildings.
I personally think that Diddy and Epstein are burnt federal assets. I know Jeremy from the Quarter Arena said that. Yeah, absolutely. And those tapes, they will never be released. They will be just held by by the federal government and used to continue to blackmail people to. I mean, one thing that I thought was pretty funny, Jeremy, again from the Quarter Arena, said, he's like, watch, now that this news comes out, you're going to see a lot of celebrity endorsements for Kamala all of a sudden because, they got the dirties on them. So, I think that Diddy was more used to control the entertainment industry, and Epstein was more world stage
political.
Yeah,
political, and then the financial. I think they both are in the mix there. I think they're both demons, though. Like to do that job, it isn't just like there's something evil. There's a kind of evil that I believe isn't just like, oh, that person's evil. I think it's actual like weird possession and stuff. And I've been seeing different videos, and I'm kind of getting the hint that like Beyonce, everyone that I saw this video yesterday of a bunch of celebrities thanking Beyonce. Had nothing to do with them. And like the ones that like Taylor Swift one time wasn't going to do it. And then Kanye jumped on stage and was like, started talking about Beyonce making one of the best music videos ever. And they were like, he like saved Taylor Swift's ass. Like it's some weird ritual.
Oh, okay. So I remember that was like the Grammys or some music award thing. And everyone was like, oh dude, he shut her down because he interrupted her speech. I never thought about it from that angle though, like weird ritualistic kind of shit where, but he jumped up there and it's like, he shut the white woman down and mentioned the black girl, Black Queen Bee.
But they were going from the angle of that he was actually helping Taylor Swift. Like she forgot to like, put it all on Beyonce because they get up there, some of them, and I mean almost none of them do it, but the people that do get up there and talk about Jesus, and then like all the people flinch and shit,
shake their heads.
Taylor Swift shaking her head when that one girl this last year thanked Jesus, but they get up there and they thank Beyonce, and I'm like, who is she? Right.
Well, it reminds me of when what's that woman's name from Devil Wears Prada, very famous actress.
No clue.
Fuck, who cares? The blonde chick from Devil Wears Prada, she's the devil. spoiler alert. But anyway, she gets up and she's like, first of all, I'd like to thank God. I mean, AKA Harvey Weinstein. So it's like, yeah,
Oh,
they do take turns kind of doing like that blasphemous kind of
it's like they have to. Like there's levels of this. It's like ancient Egypt, and it's like their main leader gods that they see as gods, and then lower gods and lower, and
lower
the only reason
deities.
you're in this business is because of us, and you're doing our rituals, and that's the only reason. Because most of these people have zero talent, right? It's just if you could throw infinite amount of money at advertisement, it doesn't matter if you're selling shit on a stick, people will buy it.
Yeah,
And they'll
that's
cheer
right.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like they say the Pokemon company. Pokemon hasn't put out I mean, this is probably a hot take, but my opinion, the Pokemon being one of the most successful and richest companies out there entertainment wise, and they still put out these shitty ass games that are like buggy as fuck day one and look like they came off the Nintendo 64. It's like they're selling you shit, but they slap the label of Pokemon on there and people cheer and love it and just lap it up, and it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
They're just pissing in your face and
Yeah.
telling you it's rain kind of thing.
It's because now it started with us, so now we're all like 30s, right? And we have kids, so we're like, Pokemon's so cool,
Yeah,
it's OG, and so the kids are like, okay, that's cool, and then the parents are buying. I mean, it's just a money hole, really. But yeah, you're right. Like Yu-Gi-Oh seemed to, at some point when I started getting a little older, that came out, and that was cooler than Pokemon. Like I didn't ever even actually play Pokemon; I just collected it.
Yeah, I was big into Pokemon. I still love Pokemon. I just feel like they, for the amount of money and fame that they have, they should be putting out much better stuff than what they do. The cards are one thing. I'm talking about like the actual games, and
Right.
it's like it's just crap.
Maybe they're too big to fail. Like that's like saying McDonald's should, their food should
taste better.
Well, or I mean, it tastes a certain way because of the the mutant genetics from they're creating and putting in it from aborted fetal cells. But it went up after COVID, but it's just you're still getting the same shitty stuff, right?
Speaking of McDonald's, have you noticed that the Coca-Cola at McDonald's tastes different than any other Coca-Cola anywhere?
I haven't. I don't go to McDonald's.
Okay. I don't much these days either, but I've always noticed that there is a very unique taste. The Sprite's different. Okay. And that's
Sprite's the best Sprite
company
in like the world is a McDonald's Sprite. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a huge Sprite drinker, but Coca-Cola. Yeah. But I do like Sprite, but it's definitely, there's something different about it. I'm sure somebody can relate to what I'm saying, but you drink a can of Coke versus like drinking Coca-Cola out of a fountain from some other restaurant, and then you have McDonald's Coca-Cola.
Like, I guarantee they have a special contract and have had it forever where something's different about their Coca-Cola.
Sure, yeah.
But it's branded the same because it comes from the same company. I mean, that's how big they are. Dude,
my mom used to be super addicted. Like, I'm talking like a fucking fiender addicted to McDonald's Diet Coke, and it had to be McDonald's Diet Coke. Dude, when she would come out here for her vacation to Hawaii, she'd be sitting here like, oh my god, I need to stop at McDonald's, I need to get a Diet Coke like right now, and like tripping. And
that's your sign.
Yeah,
that's your proof right there.
The funny thing is, like, when she decided, okay, enough's enough, this is not good for me, I know it's not good for me, I've had conversations with her about, she's like, I need to stop. She said, like, I went through withdrawals trying to get off the freaking Diet Coke. And I'm like, well, first of all, you got aspartame and all this other shit in there that's terrible for you. I won't drink diet soda dude, when somebody makes my coffee and it has freaking Sweet and Low in it, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, but the substitutes are just disgusting. But yeah, there's something in the soda at McDonald's for sure.
Oh yeah.
But I see you got the Trump McDonald's thing. That actually happened.
Speaking of that, yeah, it looks like it happened. I know, I was waiting for that. He said it dude, every time this guy says he's gonna do something, he does it.
Yeah.
Look, he just said it the other day, and he was gonna pull. Did you see that? Did you see that video that Kamala put to play at that dinner?
No,
you didn't see it.
Oh god, no.
Oh dude, it's cringe. Like, it's hard to watch. as this actress, and she's jumping her. Oh, it's bad, dude. And you can tell the whole time Kamala's reading a teleprompter. So, which means that they have, because there's different angles, they have multiple teleprompters angled in this room so she can turn and read what she's supposed to say. This lady cannot function. She's worse than Joe Biden. Honestly, man, Joe Biden pisses me off so bad, right?
Yeah.
So bad. But at least I can say, oh, he's also old as shit. You know what I mean? Kamala, there is something.
She's a drunk.
I don't know.
She's a wino,
She's like your
man.
first girlfriend that turns into a fucking prostitute down the road. And you're like, oh, I get it now. I should have saw that coming.
32 days. 32.
Yeah, oh, you saw that though when she. Oh my.
We got some business to do, and we're gonna do it. 32, like the number.
I don't think it'll play.
Unfortunately, I can't hear it.
Well, unless I pick just one, whatever at a time, like one little what are these called? Tabs at a time. So I was just gonna see. Just give me one.
If you want to play it for them, for the audience, feel free.
Well, I don't think they can hear it. Is what I mean. So I was just gonna see that in the audio. But what do you think about Trump actually sacking up and actually going to McDonald's? Because Kamala lied about working at a McDonald's, right?
Didn't know
that's why he did it. That's why he did it. She lied. So he's like, you know what? I'm actually gonna go do it because fuck her.
Good for him. Oh, can you imagine not knowing he was going to? Well, I'm sure they had a freaking the whole block on lockdown. But can you imagine pulling up second window? Yeah, second window and getting served by Donald Trump. Oh my God, be amazing.
Sorry, I really haven't tested this before. I want to see if they can hear it. It says it won't, but I want to double check.
Sure. Man, I mean, it'd be just as effective if someone would just comment and tell us, hey, we can hear or not hear. That'd be super helpful.
Yeah, no, they can't hear shit.
Okay, well.
That's fine. It doesn't matter. I just want to see for future references. Let's see. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump manned the fry station at a McDonald's in Pennsylvania on Sunday before staging an impromptu news conference answering questions through the drive-through window. That's so cool.
I'll tell you what, there was a point in time where I was working at one of his hotels, and I was so effing proud to do that. And I said, you know what? I'm going to work my ass off. I'm going to do such a good job. I'm going to make this president so freaking happy that I work at his hotel, even though it's just his name, I'm sure. Yeah. But his kids would stop by and do like annual checkups and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
I never was there to meet them, but the security was telling me, we rode in the elevator with Don Jr. and talked to, what is his daughter's name? What is her name again?
Bianca?
Bianca. I was going to say Bianca, but I don't know. Crap. Anyways, doesn't matter. They rode with the daughter, and they just said they were pretty down to earth people, pretty cool, as we would hope and expect. But can you imagine riding in an elevator with Kamala? Probably the only thing she could talk about is how Donald Trump is going to screw us over, or she's like, line, I need a line.
I think she's like the third wheel, like the fat friend or whatever, Yeah. I think she's the one like you just say something that's not funny, and she's just trying to get some D that night. You know what I mean?
Yep. And doesn't have an opinion.
Gross.
Doesn't have an opinion about anything. Just comments like the Key and Peele skit where he's just like, awkward. No. It's not awkward until you made it awkward. Say something. Follow up with something.
Just saying random shit.
Yep.
That'd be cool if he just saw you and you walk out and he's like, Nathan's the greatest.
Yeah.
He's the greatest at his job.
He's going to make our hotel great again. Oh, did I tell you about the time that I showed up? So he actually, when he first, around 2016, 17, I don't remember what year it was exactly, but he came out here to Hawaii and stayed at the Ritz-Carlton. Did I tell you about that?
Maybe. I can't remember, though.
And I had to go through like all these security checkpoints to go to the hotel. Okay, well, I'll tell it again. So Donald Trump was on his way to meet with Xi Jinping in China, I believe, or maybe he was going to go to North Korea or something. But the midway point was Hawaii. So he stayed at the Ritz-Carlton. And so that's why I'm saying like they probably shut that McDonald's like the block radius down, because that's what they did here with the hotel. Secret Service everywhere, main roads through Waikiki. completely shut down.
How long ago was this?
It was like 2016, 17.
Oh yeah, think of how bad it is now that he's had 2
Oh,
attempted, possibly 3 assassination attempts, right?
right. So yeah, exactly. But what ended up happening is, so nobody told me not to go to work that day, and I'm like, well, I got a job to do, 1, and 2, maybe I'll run into the president at like the pool deck or something and be like, what's up, dude? But anyway, so I decided to go, and so I'm getting ushered through like these police blockades and Secret Service checkpoints, and so anyways, they pull me up and they're like, sir, can you please step out of the vehicle? Do you have any weapons or explosive devices? Blah blah blah. I'm like, no. And so they start going through my car. Dude, they pop the hood, they're searching through the engine, they pull the seats forward, they have the dogs going through the back of my car, the canine, like everything. They pulled the trunk apart, spare tire out, got underneath the car. And so I thought it was like fascinating. And this is when Snapchat was a little more popular. So I pull up Snapchat and I start filming Secret Service as they're like tearing through my car. And I said, well, I guess this is what it takes to clean some windows when the president is in town. And dude, they fucking turn around. They're like, get off your phone right now. You already see your phone. Let me see you delete that video. And I'm like, holy shit.
Were you on private property?
No, I was on the street. I was just standing on the street.
Yeah, no, they can't do any of that.
It was at their police checkpoint, their Secret Service police checkpoint. So I got surrounded. There was a chick. There was
the
2 dudes.
Constitution out on them.
At this point, what I told them is, I was like, first of all, I'm a patriot. I love America. I love Donald Trump. And I said, and I understand. I appreciate that you guys are taking your job so serious and making sure the president is safe. And they're like, we need to see your phone right now. You need to go into your gallery. You need to show us that video has been deleted. I'm like, okay. Here's the video. This is what I recorded. I didn't know. Delete. Yeah, they were stomping all over my rights, but I was so caught off guard.
Authority to wipe your phone, like even if they were like, it needs to be deleted, you showing them you deleted it doesn't prove that it's deleted to them. They don't. Like they
can do contact Snapchat and be like, oh, we need to go.
Well, first they'd have to get a warrant.
Yeah.
To even look at your phone. Did you like you said, okay, go through my car or whatever?
No, I just turned my phone around and I was like, this is it right here.
Well, with your car, did they ask to search it or did they just
they just said, sir, step out of the vehicle. I pull up, window down, sir, step out of the vehicle, get out, and then they sent the dog. They just immediately popped the hood, pushed the seats forward, sent the dogs in, flashlights, like the freaking mirror under the car, getting up under there looking. Yeah, they were all over it. And so anyways, they scared the shit out of me. I got this black girl Secret Service woman that's on me. I got 2 dudes that are checking as well, and I just said, hey, I just thought this was a fascinating process, whatever. So wrapped it all up, and then on to the next checkpoint. They take my car from me, drive it away to, I'm assuming, like valet parking or something, which is not the normal process for me. And then they take me to an area of the hotel. It looks like a wall, but then the wall like sinks back and like it's a freaking door. And I'm like, what the? I've worked here for 4 years. I had no idea this even existed. And so, yeah, they take you through these back channels of the hotel to the service elevator, take you up. And as soon as I get to the pool deck floor and I'm walking through the back hallway, another Secret Service checkpoint. They're like, sir, what are you doing here? I said, I'm here to clean some windows. Not today, you're not. And I was like, oh, damn, I was hoping to meet the president. Not today, you're not. You're going home. And I said, okay. I got paid regardless, but, it's just a fascinating process. Dude, I heard that they had
hazard pay. You should have got, I would have asked for a lot. That's crazy, dude. They stomped all over your rights.
And they had him stay up. So a lot of people were talking shit like, oh, he could have stayed at the Trump Hotel, which is just like a couple blocks away.
He's like, it's not good enough for me.
Yeah. Well, that was the joke. Everyone's like, oh, that says a lot about his hotel. What it was a conflict of interest because at that time, the Democrats were like, yep, the money thing. They're saying, oh, he's using taxpayer dollars to fund his own hotel and put money back into his own bank account. So he stayed at the Ritz-Carlton. They brought. Yeah.
It's fucked up, but it makes sense. I think if you own hotels, you should be able to stay at your fucking hotel, whether you're I mean, you know what I mean? Like if you provide a service, you should get your service for free.
And he's exactly for free. It's not like he's charging himself to stay at his hotel. Like, come on.
I mean, that's what they're insinuating is he's charging for one, a huge fee, because that's got to cost a lot of money to be able to set up that kind of security and everything, and all those donations from his donors. are going into his pocket because it's his business. That's what they're worried about.
That's what
Which
they were
is,
worried
I
about.
mean, it makes sense. That's what liberals do. So that's why they're pointing the finger and saying he's doing it.
Yep. They know all the tricks. Yeah, he's probably like, damn, I never thought of it. No, I'm sure he's very aware of the yeah. But I heard that they brought, I want to say it was either 6 or 8 inch bulletproof glass to surround his bed up in the room. I think he stayed in the penthouse, but I don't know for sure. The penthouse is like a 3-story deal at the Ritz-Carlton here in Waikiki. But
I could not do that. Could you imagine getting treated like a baby every day for every second of your life? Like that guy's like good for him because he knows he's helping the country.
right.
But wow, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you gotta, they're putting fucking those corner foam strips on, on the corners of all the walls, so if he trips, just that's crazy. Like they're
Yeah.
baby proofing the room.
Sir, I'm sorry. We will be wiping your ass. No.
Yeah.
I know you can do it. I know you're a big boy, but no.
Someone died somewhere wiping their ass.
We're not. It's not worth the risk, sir.
He's like, I didn't want to. They violated my rights. They held me down, and they wiped it. I think they wiped it 6, 7, 8 times.
They made it great. Made it great again.
Yeah, they made my asshole great again. Oh no.
But anyways, it was just an experience. So
that's
moving
crazy.
on.
I would have been upset.
I thought it was fascinating. I got paid. I got to go home early from work. I got to, at least.
Well, you're just the guy going to work, and they're like, "Show me your asshole."
Oh fuck yeah! They were on top of it, and it's with that being my experience.
I don't consent to any searches or seizures. Identify yourself, and fuck you is what I would have said.
Well, and to think that was my experience
the whole time too.
Just trying to go to work.
And
then it's like, what the fuck happened in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, what when the kid, just walks in with a ladder allegedly and a gun and is up there and it takes aim for fucking 3.5 minutes and there's someone on the water tower. Yeah,
people are shouting and screaming, but I can't even get my ass into work with a bucket and squeegee and wetter to clean windows.
And you're a white guy. I mean, people see this and be like, well, if he was black, you know what I mean? You're like,
stand down, he's Caucasian.
Yeah. it's the black Secret Service lady sitting there putting on the glove, fucking lubing her fingers up. You know what I mean?
But yeah, definitely with my experience, having personally experienced the Secret Service process, it's like, that was the first thing I thought about. How the fuck did they get away with all these things? How did you get a rifle, an AR-15 into that fairgrounds while I'm over here just trying to get my car and bucket and squeegee and wetter? Like, it just didn't make sense. Clearly,
they told him they weren't going to give him the Secret Service, and I kind of think that's why Kennedy stood down and pulled out. Which, if you guys didn't see the video the other day, Oregon, Trump is not on the voter pamphlet that they send out, but Kennedy is, which even if he paid to be on there, he's not running anymore. You shouldn't confuse people and they're like, oh, maybe some of these conservatives will vote for a guy that's not even fucking running, right?
And you made an excellent point when you're like, oh, well, the reason they gave me that he's not on there is because he didn't submit whatever paperwork before May. And it's like, well, Kamala wasn't even announced to be running as president until like a month ago or 2 months ago.
Absolutely.
What are you talking about, May?
I think Oregon's scared because they keep saying it's so blue. I'm telling you, man, when Northern California is red, Oregon's red, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you Google it, if anyone wants to know, we don't have go to a place and fill out a ballot. It gets sent to your mailbox. You fill it out. You send it back. That's what we got. And that's how they stole the last election.
You know, what's interesting. I don't know how much this will affect us or not, but my wife, I want to say like 4 months ago, got her driver's license switched. And when you do that, it's to where it's my last name because we got married. And when you do that, it asks if you want to update your voter registration form. So she did change it to my last name. Well, wouldn't you know? And granted, 2016, we voted red. So it's like, I don't know if it's just, an oversight or if it's like actual They're fucking with us, but yeah, they left it as her maiden name, and I'm like, fuck, how are we going to vote in person now when your ID says one thing and what's going to show up in their system is something different? When you did it at the DMV, it's not like we did it online through some rink-a-dink link. No,
Well,
we did it.
here's your answer. Did she I'm guessing she filled out, she was voting Republican at that point in time too.
I would assume so, yes.
Yeah, because it asks you right there.
It asks
That's
you.
interesting.
Yeah, but we did get our ballots. We just got them last week at the end of the week. So
We don't. They just sent them out Wednesday.
oh,
Why cut it so close if you're dealing with the mail service, right? That's
Mhm.
weird.
mhm.
That's really weird. I
It
mean,
is
mail
gonna
since
be-
COVID has been so slow. I mean, you can't even get like next day with Amazon anymore. Your next day now takes 3 days, but average Amazon week and a half, 2
Hmm.
weeks, coming from 4 states away. It's nuts. So why did they think that they need to cut it so close? And then he's not on it. I mean, I think Nathan, what's going on? What are they calling it?
Shadow
Too
campaign?
big to rig. That's what they're calling it. Too big to rig right now. And I've been saying it forever. I was like, the only way that Trump wins this is that gap, because you've seen the chart where it goes straight up for Biden. That gap is too big. Mathematically, they can't forge and fake enough votes to
For
make
Biden?
that happen. For Biden. Yeah. Last time.
Uh-huh.
So like it was Biden was losing, and then at 3 a.m. in the morning when no one's supposed to be there, it went straight up.
Mm-hmm.
That the gap between Trump and Kamala is going to be so much bigger this time that they can't do that. And like, it can't be a straight line all the way up. Like mathematically, it's going to be incorrect.
Okay.
Like it can't happen. So that's why they're calling it too big to rig.
You know what I find interesting? Why are they not I know why they're not, because there's the shadow campaign and they want illegals to be voting. But if you want a fair election where it's like, that dead people aren't voting, illegals aren't voting, why don't they compare it to the census? Well, wait, does the census count illegals? I don't know. I was going to say, why don't they just compare the number of votes to the census that says this is how many people reside in America? But I don't know if the census actually counts.
I don't think everyone fills it out either.
Oh, that's true too. I know they incentivized it during Obama years with like a $75, because I turned 18 right like a couple of years before Obama, and it was like, oh, fill out this thing, the census form, and you get $75. I'm like, yeah, all right.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't.
How about you can't get money to run, like donations and stuff. Everyone just has to pay like $25 to be able to vote, and that goes to the next election, which has to be split evenly beyond the primary holders, and that's what they have to run on.
So essentially, they're going to both have the same war chest.
Amount of money.
Yeah,
everyone has to pay to vote. That way, they're not faking it. I mean, that's where the donor money would go, but you have to verify. You have to have 2 forms of ID, just like a job. To get a job and like to fill that shit out, you have 2 forms of ID: social security card and driver's license. Boom.
Well, and then another one that Tim Pool actually said is you need to know the person that you're voting for. You need to know their name, and you need to write it down. That it shouldn't be a fill in a bubble. You should write legibly their name. That would also eliminate a lot of people, because a lot of people are vote blue no matter who. So they just go straight for Democrat and for the primary person. Whereas if you have people who are voting who actually care and understand what's at stake here, they should know at least the name of the candidate and how to spell their name. That was just another
absolutely. And I don't know, a lot of people are retarded. They should still be able to vote. So even if they miss a letter or two, you should have to write something, because you put it. I mean, it doesn't take AI I'm so tired of people saying, seeing a picture and going, you guys need to quit using AI. I'm like, that's fucking Photoshop. It's been here for 20 something years. Get off your, shut up. This AI shit's been here for 2 years, year and a half. But it takes nothing to put a form into a system. I mean, I'm not saying backwards, but I mean, people have been robbing vending machines forever. This thing takes it in, count, looks at the dots and whatever. But what happens if they make a tool to flip one of them? I mean, who cares what you're voting for in your state? All we care about is that first bubble for president. Let's make something that switches that. Seems pretty easy to me.
I, for one, will be definitely using the track my ballot tab this year. I want to see, first of all, well, I just realized that next week voting in person opens up. I think it's the 22nd here in Hawaii, but that it opens up the in-person voting places, stations or whatever. And it's funny because on the ballot, it says on our ballot that we received that there is no in-person voting, but there is, and it opens up next week, and they have the different locations on the list. But anyways, really interesting. But yeah, I will be tracking where my ballot is in the process and who it actually gets recorded as tallied.
It's public record. They should post that shit, a website just for that. You can look it up by social security number. You know, it doesn't show you people's social security numbers, but if you have it, you type it in, you know, name, address, phone number, you should be able to do that and verify each one. If they had that, there's no cheating. You could count it right there.
The one thing I've been seeing a lot of videos of and hearing a lot about is that these certain super liberal blue states are opening up the DMVs and helping illegals get driver's licenses so that they can vote.
Like yeah, it's crazy. People don't understand how many illegals are in this country. Right. Oregon ran out of funding in February of this year for the entire year. February, done. They sent out a letter.
FEMA or what?
So for housing assistance, for food stamps, for babysitting help, for TANF, for everything. They ran out of money the second month, and they knew they were going to. That's how many people they added on. It's like almost 1 million people, but I think it's more than that. They're handing these people, like when you see something online in a video and people are talking about these illegals having, you know, tens of thousands of dollars on a food card, not just for food, but there's TANF and then there's food stamps, and you can use, there's a actual that you can put it in at the store and get cash back, or it's only for food. These people are getting that. Yeah, they bankrupted the state of Oregon in a month, which is
your taxpayer dollars. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, my wife keeps saying, and why are we paying taxes again? Remind me why. And I'm
like, you know how Oregon's correcting that? They're kicking off all actual American citizens, state of Oregon citizens, people that have lived here forever, off of these programs to make room for the illegal aliens.
That effing pisses me off, man.
Yeah. Oh, so that's why people are homeless in the street. I mean, you know, I don't live in a big place, and it's everywhere. You would shit your pants if you came back here and saw it. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Well, I mean, the crazy thing is when
10 of them that I know by just driving to a store and back.
What I was going to say is, before I left about 10 or so years ago, there wasn't any homeless people in Milton Freewater or Walla Walla that, I mean, you wouldn't see them walking around. You knew of like one or two, maybe. And they're always like the crazy dude that's walking around like batting his head. Besides that, and I hear now more and more people talking about, the homeless problem in
Walla Walla has like, hundreds.
What?
Hundreds. You're talking hundreds. You're talking you drive, and that's everywhere. I mean, I've driven through the whole state. Everywhere you go, and I got to remind my wife that, because she's like, we need to get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, where are we gonna go? Right. Everywhere we drive, we've been to, and we've been all over the state this year. They're everywhere, man.
Another thing you got to keep in mind is, as much as you want to not turn tail in like a feeble way, but turn tail and head for the hills, you don't want to leave the city to the wolves. You want to kind of be that beacon, that shining light in, you want to stay and represent. You don't want to just hand it over to them. So it's like, where do you draw the line? When is enough? And you say, okay, fuck, this isn't worth it anymore. I'm out of here. Because I've been, debating that for years about Hawaii. When is enough? When is it too expensive? When is there enough lawlessness and not enough support from the police? When is it enough to say, I'm getting the fuck out of here? Because Jay, he took off.
Absolutely. Yeah, he did.
A lot of people did.
But I mean, it's got to look, there's some big blue cities in there. It's got to look a lot of the same, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter what color your state is right now. That's what happens when, everything doubles, and then a lot of things triple.
They got a
quadruple.
freaking poop tracker app in San Francisco to literally take pictures of the human waste on the sidewalk and then pin the location so that the people can come to that location and clean the turds off the street. Over here in Honolulu, you got people literally laying on the sidewalk in one spot for so long that there's an outline of their body left behind and shit smeared all down the street. It's insane. Windows boarded up. It's a shadow of its former self. And you know what I keep telling
and right
people?
next to it is where they pick up, your kids on the bus stop.
That's right. Yeah, and the thing is, I guarantee you some politician is getting a payout for this. There would be no other reason that the state of Hawaii would allow other states to dump their homeless out here, which they do. They give them one-way tickets. You hear it all the time from the homeless people. They got a one-way ticket purchased by the state they were residing in to come to Hawaii and be homeless out here because there's no, issues with freezing temperatures or any of that kind of stuff. So we have an overwhelming amount of homeless people out here. And it's like, why would any state representative allow that unless they were getting some kind of kickback for it? It makes the state look like shit. Everything goes to hell.
Personal
Crazy.
kickback. Yeah.
That's
it's
right.
not
Personal
even for
kickbacks.
the state. Yeah.
No,
Just
no,
like,
no, no.
I mean, California and Hawaii and I don't know what Florida looks like. I'm sure it's a lot of the same, but those are sunny places. It's like, oh, come, anywhere there's a palm tree, and some free money, you're going to have homeless. You're going to have the mass of them because they don't got to migrate. They don't got to freeze to death in the winter. And if they're getting free food, fuck.
And what really pisses me off, this is going to be a kind of touchy subject for any locals listening, but you have the local Hawaiians who rage and protest and, the police come and arrest them.
Let me stop you. Let me stop you just for a second because I live by a lot of natives. I'm going to tell you right now, I know what you're about to say, and it has to do with we're victims and so are these people and we should support them and help them. And it's just libtard victimization mentality and they're all for it. Vote blue, no matter who.
And it's always the white man is loving this right now. Oh, the white man. And it's like, oh, they're coming in and building on our burial ground. We don't own the property. Someone actually purchased it, went through all the proper procedures, but now suddenly it's a sacred location. They're going to protest and riot and act crazy over this, fight the police, but they're not going to care about the freaking homeless people who are rotting all over the place, littering, destroying shit, robbing people, drugs running rampant. And that's not an issue we need a public outcry for. We need to cry about the freaking, sacred land. And granted, I know there are some sacred spots that have been abused, but I'm talking like
by the liberals and the homeless people shitting all over them.
Exactly.
They had just had a Christopher Columbus statue on Columbus Day. Like what, a week ago? Spray painted pink and all sorts of shit written all over it by the libtards at the fucking college.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Insane.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
why?
all. I don't know, but there was this big, anytime I turn on, this is why I just don't get on social media these days. It's always some fucking drama, man. And the most recent one, I just got on for a second. I don't even remember what it was for, but first thing I see is people freaking outcrying, protesting because some dude bought some land, went through all the proper steps. There was no protest then, and it was public, it was acquired through the right channels. Not like he just came in and raped the land. He bought it, he built on it, and then these locals are pissed about it. And it's like, yeah, you're pissed about this when you could have gone to the city council meetings. You could have bought the land yourselves, if it was that big of a deal. But no, you're mad at the white man. Meanwhile, you have all these freaking homeless people destroying the island by littering and wasting all over the place. That's not a problem.
The victim mentality. It's just like the natives, like Americans here, and then the blacks. It is. See, the thing that they don't get, it's not their fault because that's how they've been raised, right? Mm-hmm. Their grandma says it, their mom, great grandma, they all say it, so that's what they believe. The problem isn't a race issue, it's a class issue. If Hawaiians, like natural citizen native Hawaiians, wanted to bitch about something, it would be about fucking Oprah and Dwayne Johnson buying up all of fucking Lahaina in parts of Maui after it burned to the fucking ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's their issue. It's literally people that look just like them that are fucking buying the shit up and burning it down. I mean, look at the conspiracies. It has nothing to do with the color or the background or heritage. None of that. It's a class thing.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as people keep believing it's a, oh, you look different, you're the bad guy, or you look different, I'm the bad guy, it's never going to solve it. That's all part of the plan. They've been doing it for, since like the 40s.
Look
And
who
you
sold
listen.
the
Go ahead.
slaves to the white man. Blacks sold
Mhm.
blacks.
But that wasn't just blacks sold blacks. That
It
was
was the
rich
class,
blacks sold
right?
poor blacks. That's what
Mm-hmm.
they don't fucking get.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's what I'm saying is it's that wolf in sheep's clothing thing. We're made the enemy because we purchased and brought them back over, as in we, the race, not you and I, because there is no in America at least there are no slave owners. I guess there's human trafficking that still happens today, but for other purposes. But there's not
And Beyonce.
right. There's not your conventional slave owner with whips and freaking cotton fields like there was back then. That wasn't every white man. Not every white man owned slaves back in the day. But they carry that story around like I'm directly responsible for the mistreatment of African Americans back in the 1800s or 1700s, whatever it was. It's like, no, how can you get mad at me saying that I'm a freaking racist because I'm white and I supposedly owned slaves? I didn't. No one in my family owned slaves.
I think it's because they're spineless, and not just in the general sense. I think they're like, you're a patriot, I'm a patriot. Like, we would die to stand up against a corrupt and overbearing government. I think these people wouldn't.
No.
I think they would just, oh, the Jews are that way, or okay, let's get in line for the, the choo-choo train ride. I think that's who they are. I mean, COVID really showed it, and that's what it is they're like, oh, that's too big and scary. It's a lot easier to point at a specific group of people that everyone else is already attacking around them in their little echo chamber circle.
Yeah.
But the actual big scary thing, they're like, I'm not gonna do it. You know what I mean? It's crazy what people will stand there. I mean, you can videos all over the internet from like mediocre fights to people getting killed to, just crazy shit happening. People are standing there not doing anything. You look at Trump's that first assassination attempt, those guys are freaking out on that video. There's someone on top of this building right now doing like freaking out, and the cops are like kind of jogging around, and they're like, give me your fucking gun. You know what I mean? Like, I'll shoot the guy. It's a different mentality. There's weak, frail, scared little boys, and then there's men. And I mean, I've seen it personally. You look at it from a different point of view, and you start to see things add up, or things that continuously happen over and over and over again, and it starts to make sense. They're just scared people. They've been told it's okay, you don't have to lift a finger your whole life because someone else won't let you. It's not that people brainwashing you that you would have to die for to be a hero to your children. No, don't be a hero, just be a victim. Sit back and point the finger at this group that's a lot easier to attack. It's crazy.
Yeah. And a reckoning is coming. The scales will be balanced again at some point, and we're going to have to atone as a race, or not a race, but as humanity is going to have to atone for its sins at some point. The scales are all out of balance right now.
Absolutely.
And, it's that saying, what is it? I mean, I know we brought this up numerous times, but the whole weak men create hard times create strong men, strong men create good times or easy times. Good times create weak men, and we're at that point. Good times have created weak men.
Circle of life,
right.
Circle of comfort. Project Bluebeam, right? That they're gonna fake an alien invasion to create a one world order.
Is it Blue Book or Blue Beam? What is it?
Bluebeam.
Bluebeam.
Yeah,
okay.
Bluebeam is Bluebeam. I'm pretty sure the elites are the aliens.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it at this point.
Just a little turn on that, their whole project there that might be what they're trying to warm up to. I mean, because there's so much UFO stuff. If everyone just would unite against these aliens, right? These people that are doing this to this world, it would change really quick.
I was watching the National Geographic or whatever the hell, animal channel yesterday actually, and it was baby sea lions, yeah, or seals, all huddled up on this rock, and the parents are out fishing and getting them food, and then here comes the big bad seal or sea lion that will actually cannibalize and eat babies when parents aren't around. And there's the one that's all of them got up really high on the rocks, but there's this one that's just flopping away, and here comes the
I'm gonna
big
step
sea
out for
lion.
just 1 second, so keep talking, but I'll be right back. Keep going.
Okay, so so the big sea lion's there, and it's fucking with the little one, and you have all of the spectator baby seals that are watching, and you think about it, and it's like, it's a perfect analogy for humanity. If they would all just freaking unite and jump that fucker, that sea lion would just dive bomb right back into the ocean, because it'd be overwhelmed and freaked out. There's power in numbers, and the same thing goes with humanity. I think that was Austin's point, is if we could first of all figure out who exactly is behind all this shit, and unite instead of be divided, and focus on all of how we're all similar and how our causes are similar, then we could win this back. But unfortunately, that's the whole plot from the very beginning, is divide and conquer. Divided we are weak, united we are strong. And it's a shame. It's the same thing with when something is like somebody's getting beat up, and you have all these people spectating, and people are filming it with their phones. If you just bum rushed in and split that shit up, no one would be getting hurt. But no, we'd rather all sit back and watch and make sure we mind our own business. Well, and so, going back to Austin saying that the aliens are probably already among us and leading us. Yeah, I would have no doubt. Look at all the media that's basically in every video game, every movie. They are disguised as us, walking amongst us, and we don't even know it. We could be interacting with them on a daily basis.
I think they're demons. So I want to show everyone this real quick. This is the Journal of Orthomolecular Medicine, and I saw this today. You go down. This is about fighting cancer, and it's being accepted finally. So there's vitamin C, which I've known for years, strong proponent of defeating cancer. There's a whole list of it. We're not going to go through these. There's zinc. Where is it? Vitamin D.
Honey.
It's down just a little bit. So these are the vitamins. There's ivermectin right there, and benzimidazoles. I don't know how to say it. Anyway, ivermectin is now officially being used to treat fucking cancer.
Wow.
Yeah, very interesting. And then the DoD directive, you see that the other day, I think we all did. Defense intelligence components may provide personnel to assist a federal department or agency, including a federal law enforcement agency or a state or local law enforcement agency, when lives are in danger in response to a request for such assistance in accordance with the following approval authorities. Secretary of Defense may approve any type of requested permissible assistance described in paragraph 3-2. So this is the paper about being able to kill American civilians, and all it takes is the Secretary of Defense to go ahead and
the military being used to
say go ahead.
So
they're
yeah,
ready for a January 6th again. This time they'll just be able to shoot, pretty much going like shoot on desire. Like, go ahead whenever you want to fire on these people,
on site.
On site when we've approved
weapons
it,
free.
Go ahead. Yep.
Jeremy from the Quartering or Tim Pool, one of them, I was listening to them talk about this the other day, and they actually asked, I want to say it was Tim Pool, asked a friend of theirs that is high-ranking military, how would you feel, or what would it take for you guys to feel it's okay in your mind to fire on U.S. citizens? And he says, if they are a threat to us, then we will do it, as needed. And so what Tim Pool or whoever it was said was, you better watch out for false flags then, because if that's all it's going to take for you to say, okay, weapons free, we got the green light, let's start shooting people, you better be keeping your eye out and an open mind for the fact that they do false flags, and somebody could, like January 6th, dressed up as a Trump supporter, we need to storm the Capitol, and they're like, Fed. You need to keep that in mind for any military personnel that are listening to our video here, that you may see somebody who you think is a civilian, but they're a freaking CIA or FBI agent dressed in normal clothes. Yeah.
There's that, but the military is a branch of the government. The government only exists because of the citizens allow it to. Mm-hmm. So to say that it's like you own a house. Right, you and your friends own a couple houses, so you hire like a management team, right, to manage the houses and the finance, all your bills. And with that, they hire a security team. And now that management company is going, if they get angry at you and get in your face, shoot them. That's exactly what this is. The military works for the people, not the government. The government is there to make sure that the military is working for the people. There is no separation between that. That's what the government's there for.
Well, and the interesting thing to me is the military is comprised of the people. I mean, it's not like it's a what do you call that? Where citizens unite. Yeah, it's not like, one of those.
Yeah.
But they're just people like you and I. It's just when you start to blur those lines of this is the enemy, that's what they do through boot camp is.
Well, they don't. Listen. Yep. Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. They don't think like us. It's like football, right? Like, why do you hate this other team? Just because it's a team.
That's right.
That's you don't know any of these people, but you're gonna kick the shit out of them. You know what I mean? It's just
they're your opponent.
What it is. They're brainwashed in the process. I mean, a lot of guys get into, like, I think that should be one thing that should be stopped. The first dude that goes up and they're like, why do you want to join, the Marines? And they're like, I want to kill people. They enlist them.
Yeah.
They don't stop it. You shouldn't want to kill people, but you'll have to if you have to. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be a part of that where, I'm only doing this because I want to inflict pain on humans. That's crazy. The military force should be the last thing that they use. It should be like threat of force is what they like. Listen, there's a lot of us. You're not going to be able to. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like the big guy standing up against the bullies. He's like, listen, I could kick your ass. So you might as well just stop being a douche, because I'm going to kick your ass if I have to. I don't want to, but I will. That's what it should be.
Yeah, that's one thing I really respect about Donald Trump, and I don't think he gets enough credit for this, is you have Obama, who was called Obama, who ironically got the Peace Award, and he literally drone striked more and killed more innocent people through drone strikes than any other sitting president in history. But you have Donald Trump on the other hand, who was flying. His military under his watch was flying a drone. I want to say it was over Iran, maybe, and somebody shot it down. And in response to that, they were going to drone strike the shit out of this area. And literally last minute, they got the call that if they drone strike this area in retaliation for shooting down one of their drones, which are millions and millions and millions of dollars, that X amount of innocent people will be killed in the process. And last minute, he said, call it off.
Absolutely. Because
innocent lives are not worth.
Yeah, it might be millions of dollars, but it's not like they have to work for it. Versus a life.
That's right.
Even one life, right? Like a million or one,
Yeah.
It should matter. There's like a human essence to Donald Trump. And I think that's what attracts everyone to him. Is.
He's a person. He's for the people.
Yeah. And the opposite, the people that are against him, if you just think about it in that's what I'm talking about. It's a little different viewpoint on it. The people that are totally against him, there's no humanity to them. They don't see that. It's just a clump of cells. Well, you're just a clump of cells. Well, yeah, but I'm a more important clump of cells. Why? What have you achieved? What have you, what have you done for everyone else? Why are you so important? If anything, this thing's going to live longer than you. It's fresh. It's weird. It's weird when you start looking at it as human and non-human, honestly. the thoughts, and it's so far widespread. And yeah, Obama, that's the thing too, that's a ritual. So he got the whatever, what was it, the Peace
Peace
Award or
Award.
something?
Yep.
Yeah,
Nobel Peace
well,
Prize.
that's the ironic shit. That's why you got Dwayne Johnson sitting there, I eat little kids, but only stop after they're 10 or whatever, you know. And you got Ellen, like, just they say this shit out in front of you and then they laugh. Well, they told you. That's part of the whole karmatic effect. So
yeah,
you know, he got the Peace Award. Are they really giving him an award for peace or for destroying it? Yeah, I mean, it's
like perverting what that whole thing stood for.
It's sarcastic. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on how you want to put it, but that's what it is. They're joking. They're laughing at you.
Yeah,
we gave this guy who did the most killings of innocent people an award for peace.
Yep. And then you have no new wars started under Trump, and you know, like, foreign policy was, whatever you hate about the guy, his foreign policy was on point.
He's a murderer. He's a rapist. He's a racist. He's yeah. They're joking again.
Yep,
they're sarcastic again. Everything they say about this guy is wrong.
He's the first president to walk the freaking DMZ into North Korea without security to freaking go discuss peace talks.
But it's the same people that vote against him or believe that shit that like I said earlier, if you sold shit on a stick and fed it to people, you know, just by yourself, you'd have nothing. But if you had just infinite amount of money for advertisement, people would be begging for it. They'd line up. You know, it's the same thing. I
got to try this shit.
Right. Yeah. Literally. And they would. And that's what they're doing. They're just, there's something wrong with them. It's weird.
Well, we have, you know, like the demons or aliens disguised as, you know, average everyday people. You have NPC kind of effect going on. I mean, you know what really boggles my mind is when you hear somebody say, try to imagine an apple in your imagination. Close your eyes, imagine an apple. Can you see the color? Can you smell it? Can you taste it? Can you feel it? What do you see? And people are like, what? I can't imagine. You mean you can see pictures when your eyes are closed in your mind? Or you ask somebody about dreams, like, I don't dream. I never dream. I'm like, what? How do you, what? I'm not saying that there's something wrong with everybody who does that, but that kind of stuff makes me think like, all right, what's going on in there? I mean, to not have an imagination just blows my mind. But NPC, you know.
Yeah, what do they have?
Right. What's going on in there? Lack of humanity. I'm not trying to be offensive.
They don't have a personal thought process. I'm trying to be offensive. They don't have a brain. They don't have a personal thought process. They don't have personal preferences. They don't have personal anything. They're just told something and they repeat it and then they fucking downvote you or just run away. I mean,
the Harris effect.
It's the Harris effect.
I need a line. Somebody tell me.
They just start speaking. I had someone the other day, Nathan, that was just like that, that I had a conversation with that said something that I had to correct. Right. And here's the thing, like, this is a personal thing about me. So if we're going to have a conversation about something like, oh, let's debate, right? Well, when you start going, no, you know, like plugging your ears like that, no, not really, yeah. But that's what you won't let me talk. You'll never beat me. I'm going to sit there and talk over you and louder. It's just like, it's part of like who I am. It's not just me. It's like a family thing. We're all just loud as shit. But I beat this into this person. They were just no. And I realized there was no winning this. Right. So instead of sitting here trying to prove points, I just decided, here's all the shit. This is what you get. You get all the facts at once, and there's nothing that's going to budge it. Here you go. That's what you get. You're playing my game now. There's no other fucking game. We're not going around any of it. Play ball. You have no other choice. That's it. And that's how it went. And honestly, ever since then, it's been pretty great. I'm telling you, dude. You put them in a corner and go just start throwing they're sitting there throwing shit at you, and you scoop it all up into one big bucket and dump it on their head and kick them to the side and go, listen here, motherfucker.
They just start going and they're hoping that you're gonna stop talking before they do, and you just keep fucking going, and they're like, shit, this guy ain't backing down, and I'm running out of bullshit to spew. What
I mean, I guess, is sometimes with these people, they're fed so much shit just for so long, right? You just got to gather it all up and dump it on them and be the loudest voice which makes sense. And they want to say something back, just bring it back. this and this and this and this, just they can't fight that. The
Mhm.
left, the crazy people cannot fight that. They don't have anything that makes sense. They'll end up just being confused and crying and breaking down. Tell them what it is, just like they've been told for so long. Oh, Trump is bad. Well, all of a sudden, here's all the information. Here's all the
Mhm.
facts. Dump it on them. Good luck picking that apart.
Well, and a lot of people in those type of situations will use the theys, and they'll always hide behind the lack of detail. They'll always blame it on the man behind the curtain kind of thing. And a perfect example of that, I was talking to somebody recently. This person hates Trump, and I obviously have my opinions about Trump, and so we're going on. And I said, you know a man by his enemies. Look at the people who hate him. They're all the people that you and I both agree are pedophiles, are demon worshiping, sick pieces of shit, entitled Hollywood, mainstream media fuckers. Why was he like why do they hate him when before they thought he was that he was part of the club? And they said, oh well, because, and this is like a straight arrow kind of person who won't go into like conspiracy realm, and they got so backed into a corner because they were trying to use the theys and thes and man behind the curtain thing. They finally just told me the reason why he was disowned by these people and was actually able to become president, because they said the whole system is rigged, and your vote doesn't mean anything, so I'm not voting, and that guy's a piece of shit, and blah blah blah. Well, then why did he win, and why did all these people turn on him? Because he's part of the Illuminati, Nathan. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but he's part of the Illuminati. And there's no way people like Donald Trump get into positions of power without being in the Illuminati. And he broke his role that he plays in the Illuminati. And so therefore it's the other Illuminati members' duty to fight against him and hate him. That's why they've all turned against him. It took everything in me not to just start laughing, first of all, but I was so over the conversation. I said, I guess that's it then. It's the Illuminati. It's just like one more man behind
your point. He's like, you're right. So this guy is fighting the bad guys.
I should have said that, man. You're right. The Illuminati, the bad guys, and he's now fighting the Illuminati. Oh my god!
Wait. Is the Illuminati the bad guys? Yes. Yeah. Okay. So he's fighting the bad guys. The bad guys don't like. That's my reason. I'm like, literally, you're right. Like, look, they thought he was playing ball. Mm-hmm. They wanted him to play ball. He was a very wealthy, powerful individual. They wanted him to play ball. They thought he was playing ball. Hillary Clinton sitting there in a video saying, if he should run for president, he would be the greatest president ever. Then she's running against him. The facts are there. Yeah. This guy is doing something that they don't want. I don't like these people. They have too much money, too much power, and too much blood on their hands. Mm. An enemy to an enemy. You know what I mean? Whether you like the guy or not, these people are not just like, they don't just hate him, they fear him. Yep. I like that. Yep. That means he has something that he can use against them. And the only way that this world is going to change is if by somebody who can uses something against them. Absolutely.
Well, the beautiful thing is that the person I was talking to proved my point and the point. He proved the point by thinking he's throwing it in my face, and it's like he suddenly had to like go down this rabbit hole that he would never touch before. The Illuminati, blah blah blah. It's like, okay, so we get it. You're right. It's the Illuminati. Okay, but it's like just he's resisting his own frame of thought and trying to disprove me by proving me right. So
you should, amen. You should have done it. I wish I was there to just feed into your head. You should have looked at him. This would have fucked his world up and turned him into a conspiracy theorist. You should have looked at him and gone, "You believe in the Illuminati?"
Yes.
And just let him go, dude.
Tell me about this Illuminati.
You actually believe in like a higher court of non-officials that own all like 98% of the money and run the world? Are you crazy? Prove it. Yeah. Prove it right now. And he would have shit his pants. Yeah. He would have, look at this, and he'd start diving down holes and start realizing I'm a fucking conservative, not a Republican, but a conservative. Oh my God.
The funniest thing is this guy will talk to me about, he's like, you know what? Put me in power for 1 year. I'll change this fucking world. I'll tell you what I do, Nathan. And this is a staunch anti-Trump dude to the max. And he's like, I'll tell you what I do. First thing I do, kick out all these motherfucking illegals who think they can
Yeah,
come
I'd
into
build
our
a wall. Ah,
and
that was
build
my
a
joke. I was
wall.
gonna say I'd build a fucking wall right now. I'll show Trump I'll build a fucking wall. And you know what? China and Mexico's gonna fucking pay for it, Nathan.
And
Son of a
he's like,
bitch.
and
They
we're
don't
gonna
even
put
realize it,
tariffs.
man.
Yep. He named all of Trump's policies, and I'm like, it's almost so awkward. I just don't even want to like get him to continue explaining. I'm like,
You just pull out a microphone.
well, the funny thing is, like, I don't know, maybe it was,
Join
I
the
don't know who
podcast.
sent it. Somebody put it in the group that it was a little black girl with her grandma, and they're doing laundry, and she's like, Grandma, who are you gonna vote for president? She's like, blue, no matter who, baby. And she's like, really? Well, this, according to this, you should take this, what is it, survey, and it will tell you who you should vote for based off of how you answer. She's like, oh, I don't need to take no survey to understand who I'm going to vote for. It's my party for my people and blah, blah. And then, so she eventually convinces her grandma to take the survey. And she's like, so she's asking the grandma, okay, this question. And it's like the same thing. Like, what do you feel about borders? Oh, well, borders are very important. We need to protect our country and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, okay. And at the very end, she's like, well, according to this survey, grandma, you should be voting for Donald Trump. And she's like, what? All thrown off by it. But that's what I'm saying. I ran into with this guy. And he's black. I wanted to show this guy the freaking video. I'm like, you are so patriotic. He's like pro police. He used to be a police officer. He used to be in the military. He loves his country.
Their fucking bubble to see that everything's changed.
Dude,
I mean, these
liberals
liberals say it switched. Back then, it was the Democrats that were the Republicans, and they're racist. No, it didn't. It didn't switch. What switched was recently when I mean, you all go to high school, you think you're Democrat. I get it. I'm like, yeah, people should be able to like decide if they can have an abortion or not. Now I'm like looking at the numbers of abortion, and I'm like, there's literally groups of women going out there to get pregnant to ritualistically, satanically, because that's their religion, sacrifice children to get an abortion. I mean, there's babies that are actually full term coming out. They're pulling them out by the fucking ankle. I mean, depending on which way it's coming out, keeping the baby comfortable to harvest the fucking organs to sell to the highest bidder. They're murdering children. They're sacrificing them. This isn't about human population control. And if it was, fuck you, because you have Bill Clinton just like the other day talking about the reason that these people are bringing in illegal aliens is because Americans aren't fucking enough and having enough babies. We are on the decline ultimately of our population. That's why we're starting to lose. It's going to mess up generations. And I'm telling you guys, I got a lot of them. So I did my part. You guys go out there and
have some babies.
Have some babies right now. All right. I got my part done.
Well, you think about it, who's going to take care of, like, you have babies so that the generation continues, and you have people who are going to eventually fill in the slot and take care of, the world when we pass away. And if there is a one big generation that just stops having babies, there's going to be a big gap where there's going to be a lot more people needing help and there's going to be a lot less there to be of service.
Absolutely. I saw a comment like 2 days ago that blew my mind. It actually broke it down. Usually I don't dive into these kinds of things because it's more opinionated, but that whole alpha beta thing is completely real. So like the libtarded men, not typically, all of them, they have like shitty genetics. They have genetics that people don't want, unattractive, like weak, like those kinds of things, right? Like the parts of them.
Gotcha.
So they swarm to this little I'm a victim area, and they're so mad right now because they can't like get that whole family American dream kind of thing, because and it's really not even genetic. It's just because of they're falling into that, just like the people in Hawaii, the people here, people everywhere, want to be victims. And it's that whole black pill, like, oh, we're not as good, so we're just not going to get a woman. We're not going to try to get a woman, that kind of thing. It fits a description. And the way this guy described it, I can't remember word for word or anything like that, but I'm like, he's right.
Mm. These are beta little simp weirdos that, and there's going to be a lot more people needing help that are, and there's going to be a lot less there to be the of service.
Absolutely. Absolutely. These are beta little simp weirdos that, 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 instead of bettering themselves, they just go, oh, it's easier to be a victim and be this person that I am.
Yeah.
Play victim, and they all group up and they call it black pill.
Yeah, don't shame me. I'm beautiful in my authentic self. It's like,
but ultimately they're pissed because they're a dying breed, because they're not breeding. It's guys like us that are making kids, and that's who's gonna be here.
Survival
they're getting
fittest.
bred out. Yeah, exactly. Yep. And it's happened forever, but that's what's happening. The gene pool is cleaning itself out like it always has, and these guys are caught in the middle of it, going like, ah, you know what I mean?
Resisting it, swimming up the current.
It's crazy. I mean, they're just floating. They're not even swimming. They're just they're stuck in a hole on the side of the river, dude.
They're just swirling down the toilet bowl.
Anyone got any eggs? No, it's just us here, bro. It's weird. They're weird. I can't put my head in that headspace. I can't understand it. But the way this guy wrote it out, it made so much sense. And I'm like, holy shit, this is a real thing. There's actual types of people who have given up, don't want to lift a finger to do anything, have put themselves in this section of the gene pool that is going to die off.
So let me ask you something. What do you think is going to happen here in the next, with this election coming up?
I've said it for 4 years. Donald Trump is going to be the next U.S. president. It's not. They can't risk a civil war. He takes the cake. That's what I know. I know that we're called the silent majority. I know that we won last time. I know that this time even the libtards are tired of their own policies. That's what I know. I know people are pissed. I know people are fucking on the street that didn't think they would be. That had families and houses, and now they're done. Yeah.
So do you think it's going to be one of those situations where the Democrats realize they're going to lose no matter what and flip the game board and say, shutting down the power grid, or going to throw
No, they're pussies. They're those same dudes that are sitting in that side of the hole in the fucking stream. No, they're going to start, I was always on your side. Here they're gonna start ratting each other out. That's what's going on with this Diddy stuff. Same thing as Epstein, except they bit it, in the ass and cut it off and killed the guy. Diddy is the thing. It's all connected. So that's what's happening. I think there might be some crazy shit that goes down for sure, but Trump knows he's taking this cake, or else he wouldn't be there. This guy knows. Abso-fucking-lutely. And I think they're just gonna, so there's gonna be two parties. The Democrat Party is gonna split. One party is going to jump on the other team and go, hey, let's do this. They're gonna slow it down a little bit. There's gonna be the other party. Can't remember what that's called, but when the filibuster, that's what they're gonna do. They're just gonna, I'm not voting. I'm not showing up today. It's gonna be 4 years of that. But I think that with what Biden and Harris did, this time Trump is gonna go, nope. We're not playing that game, and going to do executive orders right from the bat. And we're going to see the world change. We're going to see China and Russia get back into their hole. And I think we're going to see some stuff change. I think there's going to be some weird economic collapse. I don't think it's going to be the dollar going to shit, even though it's already to shit. I think it's going to be a correction of that. Correction of that would be like, for one, opening pipelines and, putting tariffs or whatever with China, billing them motherfuckers. But I think what's going to happen is everything that's super high up right now, because everyone jumped on board. They're like, oh, my house is worth twice what it was when I bought it. Let's sell it right now. Well, they're all going to get screwed. There's going to be new laws coming in with those percentages. And it's the free market's going to be free, but I don't think you should be able to go from I just looked at my truck. I got my truck in 2020. I sealed the deal with a 2%. Right now, they're advertising like, this is so amazing. Come get it. 8%.
Jesus.
Yeah. Amazing. You have a perfect credit score. Amazing. 7-8%. And I'm going, no. You know what I mean? I think that there's going to be laws and sanctions and stuff put into place that's going to cut that down, and people are going to lose a shit ton of money. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter, because they already made too much. They greedily made too much, and they got themselves into the corner that they're going to have to live with. You don't get to double your housing market in 3 years. You just don't. You don't. And then the wages, minimum wage goes up, but everyone that's out there working, nothing goes up for them. a dollar here, a dollar there. Well, the same shit I was buying last week is twice as much this week. I think that's what's going to change. And all these people that invested, quote, right, into these properties like BlackRock and all that, they're going to get a third of what they were projecting to get.
Good.
And it's going to screw them and put them back down. That's what I think is going to happen. What do you think?
Well, I'd love to think that Donald Trump is going to win. I don't see it being a peaceful transition of power, though. I am a bit concerned about riots, or I would say protests at first, which then amplify into riots, and then riots turn into something else. And it's probably going to be due to provocateurs, the media. I don't think that Trump is going to just step in and things are going to get better. Not that you said that, but I just don't think that will be the process. I think that the Democrats know they're going to lose. And so what they're going to do in the meantime is try to fuck shit up as much as possible so that when it's his turn, he's got this giant mess, just like they did last time. He inherited a mess, like he always said. And then I think we're going to be in a world war. And that's all being set up right now. Financial problems. Are we going to have alien, stuff being released? I don't know, but I think one thing that Democrats are really good with is playing the long game. And what we really need to be focusing on if we get Donald Trump in is what are we going to do once his 4 years are up? Who's going to be next? Because I think they might see at this point, you know what? I mean, there was that lip reading thing where they looked at Biden and Obama talking and they were reading their lips. And apparently he was saying like, they both agree that she's not nearly as strong as even Biden was. And they're all losing hope. The Democrats are going to start jumping ship and they're going to start pretending to play, into Donald Trump policies. Oh, we were always for a strong border and we were always for, American values and the atomic family. I think just to try to kind of turn down the heat a little bit. And then they're going to come with a full force in 2028. And that's what we need to be focused on. What's going to be happening from now to then, I think, is going to be Donald Trump once again trying to clean up a mess that he inherited. I just hope that something is put into place where we can ensure free and fair elections moving forward, that people are held accountable. Like I think this Diddy thing, the Epstein thing, that we're only being exposed to just the tip of the iceberg of it. There's probably this massive amount of shit that's still yet to be revealed to the public. And I hope that it's being dealt with behind the scenes to where when he takes office, that there's some real public accountability. We start seeing I hope that we see things change. I mean, look at the music that's on the radio nowadays. It's like, it's just awful. The message is awful. We got the schools churning out these like fucked up ass kids who are like communists or little thug gangsters who just love chaos. I mean, I hope we see America start to heal. There's JSNIP4 and them talk about Melania Trump in the future forecasting group, the Dick Allgaier and them, the remote viewers. They talk about how there's going to be a speech that Melania gives talking about healing as a nation. I think that it would be great if we could start to heal the wounds and start coming back together as a nation and seeing the similarities rather than the differences. Personally, that's my hope.
Amen, brother. Yeah, she was great. I agree. I don't know what it's gonna be. We're all in for some surprises. I hope it goes well, and I just got a good feeling, and I've had it for a while, that it's gonna go all right.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, really, that's all we can hope for at this point.
I do want to say, I don't think that as optimistic as we both are, and I think a lot of people are, even the polls or like the betting markets are like this, fuck, I can't do it. But anyways, Trump up here, Kamala way down here is like a 20-point gap between the two. People are very optimistic that Trump's going to win. That does not mean don't vote. That does not mean, oh, it's in the bag. We don't just, whatever. We're going to sit this one out. That means we need to freaking fight even harder. We need to make sure.
Yeah, better vote. Better make sure everyone's voting. That's the important part of this.
Shit. Yes, don't sit by and say it's all part of the plan, and we're gonna. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. But I really think if you want to win this, you need to go vote.
You have
Just
to
in
win
case.
this.
Just in
Everyone
case.
has to win this.
Right.
Absolutely. You need to vote. It don't matter if you believe in it or not. It doesn't matter. They do. And they're not only voting, they're voting 2, 3, 4 times. Make it count. This
Dead
is the
people,
most
illegals.
important election we will have for the rest of our lives.
Because
Guaranteed.
let me ask you one last thing. What do you think would happen if he doesn't win?
I don't know if I want to talk about that.
Okay. Maybe another video.
I don't know. Yeah. It's going to get bad. Like people, you know how people move out of bad neighborhoods?
Mm-hmm.
That's what the U.S. is going to look like.
Yeah.
People
I mean, look at what happened over the past 4 years, where we were. Like I've mentioned in another podcast.
We're in World War III right now. Like
we're in World War
III.
The
beginning of it. This is the beginning of World War III that we're.
A box of fucking cereal at the grocery store next door is fucking $8 for one of them skinny boxes. I mean, come on. I know that's not mainland price, that's Hawaii price, but that's still outrageous.
You're gonna see the next Great Depression. It's gonna make the Great Depression look like nothing, but it's going to be way worse than that, and it's going to be all over the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted at the Georgia Guidestones 500,000 people.
Yeah.
Or no. Is it 500 or 500 million? I think it's 500 million. 500 million people. Yeah, because we got trillion. It was 500 million people they wanted on this planet to be run as slaves. You're going to see the population of the entire world drop to that number. If it gets any worse than it is right now.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly. You're going to see economic disasters. You're going to see America continue to be sold off. You're going to see crime continue to skyrocket. You're going to
see nuclear fucking bombs and lasers come from satellites blowing up giant cities all over the globe.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. So this is the fight for our lives. This is the most important election of our lives. So get out and vote.
All right. Any last words, Nathan?
That was it.
I'm gonna end this one.
Okay.
All right. Perfect. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't, share it with a friend. I mean, this is good stuff that Nathan has brought out tonight. Great conversation. Thank you, buddy. And
thanks for having me.
leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you and want to know what you all think. But anyways, we'll catch you on the next one.